The following Toku Podcastu contains spoilers from both past and present tokusatsu, anime, manga, movies and other related media. If you do not wish to be spoiled, we suggest turning off the podcast now. Otherwise, please enjoy the show.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Toku Podcast, the best show about tokusatsu you've probably never heard of. As always, I'm AJ, that's Jay.
Hello.
That's Nemit.
I hope you're not melting out there.
We probably all are because it's summer. And it's deadly out there.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, you're telling me.
And
Yeah.
sticky. Very sticky out there. Before we get into it, I'm going to do our usual plugs. And by usual, I mean I'm putting the plugs that we usually do at the end to the beginning. So you can skip like 20 seconds. You'll probably get to that. So, we have the Discord server in the bottom. I'll get better at this as we go along. There's the Discord server at the bottom. There's the question that you can submit at the bottom, and maybe you want to give us a couple of cents on PayPal or whatever. Who knows? Maybe you'll get something out of it. You'll get a very hearty thank you from Phil himself, but only Phil.
Just him.
Specifically Phil.
What?
It would be a very boisterous thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
To be fair. So with that out of the way, let's talk about what we're going to talk about talking about today, which is Gridman. Hey, see what I did there? Okay. So, I don't know where to start because I think I'm going to be the minority in this one. You know what? I'll put it out there right now. I don't think this was that great. I'm not trying to say that in the sense that I want to be that guy, but I don't think this was that great. The thing is, I went into it really, really expecting something amazing because everyone I have asked was like, "Yeah, it's fucking awesome. It's so fucking cool." And what I got out of it, like just to be completely like forefront with the whole thing, honestly, what I got out of it was a okayish show with very infuriating elements and one really cool scene, like really awesome scene. Like that's how I can describe this show for myself. But
well, you're definitely in the minority.
I think we'll get into it. Again, we'll get into it, and again, maybe I don't know what it is. And again, I went into this really, really wanting to fucking love it because everybody told me it's fucking great, and I'm like, awesome. I'm so fucking stoked because I want to be like in the know, you know, because everyone's always been telling me that it's fucking great. So I'm like, yeah, let's watch it. But let's actually get into it. What is fucking I'll just call it Gridman.
Yeah, because we're not gonna say all day.
Yeah, we're.
It sounds like we got a lisp or that we're like breaking up or something. But
well,
so Jay,
since this show is about this show, we can just call it this show.
Yeah. Oh.
We'll call it this show for the rest of the podcast. We're not going to call it by its proper name.
This show.
But yeah, so Jay, seeing as you're more of the Gridman man because you've actually watched not only Gridman but also this anime and also Superhero Samurai Cyber Squad.
I've got the full trifecta. Yeah. I'll be honest. Like,
you are the Gridman man.
I mean, I'll be honest. When they first announced the show, first I was a little confused because here's Trigger making a show about a 90s superhero show that nobody's watched. And I'm like, alright, I'm down for that. Gridman kicks ass. And then, we get more info about it. And it's like, oh, it has nothing to do with the original. It's all this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, alright, whatever. And then they lied. And then it turns out to be a sequel. Like Trigger, because it's Trigger. They gotta lie about everything. But yeah, overall, I was really hyped for the show from when it announced and from when I was watching it. I remember it was a little divisive, at least between the people I had talked to who aren't exactly into the tokusatsu kind of stuff. So a lot of them are like, it's nothing special. It sucks. There's nothing to it except, the girls and blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit about the giant robot stuff, but I'm watching
the
it.
girls.
Oh my god, we'll get into those fucking girls.
The type of people who are watching it because, it's the new big thing, but also they don't give a shit about the genre. So.
It's on their Crunchyroll queue. They're gonna watch it and then talk about it for 5 seconds
Actually,
and then just go on to the next anime.
The flavor of the month, basically.
It was. I was about to say that they treated it like a flavor of the month. So I want to start with what's good about this show because there's actually a lot of fucking good, and I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of good. Let's start with like the most obvious fucking thing from the get go. The animation in this show is fucking gorgeous.
It is.
It is a
Like
beautiful show.
I think like what episode 5 or 6 was probably the pinnacle of it all, besides the last episode, because I don't and again when I say pinnacle, it sounds like it ever takes a dip. Like most of the show is very very fucking consistent with its animation. Sure, you have a lot of like a lot of far away no face scenes that you see in anime a lot, but overall, it looks really damn nice. Like I implore anybody who watches this, like, try and find like the 1080p and just watch it on the biggest screen you've got, because it looks really fucking beautiful.
Oh yeah, no,
it really does.
Definitely seek out the Blu-ray.
But then again, it's Trigger.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is that obviously it's a Trigger show, so they're known for making the most they can with their budget. Whether it be for Inferno Cop or it be anything. Fucking
Inferno Cop. Don't even get me started on Inferno Cop.
Well, Inferno Cop's in the show, so
fucking
we can
Inferno
talk about
Cop.
him.
Somebody put Inferno Cop on the.
Oh God.
It'd be a short episode. No.
I fucking.
Yeah. So,
it would be.
Trigger, so, they're known for that kind of high level of consistent, consistent high level of detail and quality there, and it's. Not only with the 2D animation, but you got 3D animation in there as well for the fight scenes and all that stuff. And it's one of the best looking.
It's funny because
CG I've seen in an anime in probably the last 5 years. It helps that a lot of it's very
I was actually gonna
stylized too, so it's not. It helps, like I'm saying, it helps that it's stylized, so it's not like immediately jarring like a week after the episode drops.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like I thought that the CG was really gonna put me off at first. I was just like, it's CG. It's usually never gonna really be that great. But I got used to it, and honestly, they got really damn good with it. Like towards the not even towards the end, like more like the middle of the series, it got really damn good there. I was like, okay, I'm with it. I'm with the CG. I'm usually not, but this changed my mind for this show at least. And actually, I was about to ask. Trigger is the one that was made by former Gainax
so
people,
it's
right?
all former Gainax crew. So they've got. They've got that.
I was gonna say because this show, fucking. I was gonna say I think it might just be this show in particular, but. I don't know. Maybe somebody else can tell me if they've seen more Studio Trigger shows. And this is not a detriment. This is kind of a good thing for the show. The way that it flowed with its writing and its dialogue and a lot of the pacing, it felt like I was watching Fooly Cooly with Gridman put into it a lot of the times. If you understand what I mean by that. I get you
there with the pacing,
like,
not necessarily with the overall tone or the plot or anything like that, but in terms of pace.
No, not the tone itself. I'm more implying like it feels like that same. There's a lot of laid back, realistic pauses to a lot of conversations. Like there's a lot of really uncomfortable pauses, and there was a lot of that in Fooly Cooly as well. And like I could tell and not only that, but like it just reeks of that show. And again, that's not a bad thing because I love Fooly Cooly. It's one of my favorite anime, but you could just feel it there, and I'm like, that's a good thing for this show because without it, I don't know how much of an identity that it would have outside of Gridman, and I'll get into what I mean when we talk about the characters because that's going to be a whole thing in and of itself.
But yeah, the animation's really good. It's pretty high quality, for a TV budget kind of thing there. Music's great. All the important technical aspects there are really good. High quality. It's
Did they use a lot of licensed, like actual licensed songs for the music you hear in the background? Because a lot of it really did sound like it was licensed
I don't
music.
think
Like,
so.
I mean, maybe it was just stuff specifically made for the show, but I don't think it was, because a lot of it did sound like actual songs that would be played. And I don't know, maybe I'll look up the soundtrack, because I was supposed to before this, but I'll look up the soundtrack later on, because it sounded like they were real songs. Again, I don't know.
No, I'm not sure. No. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something, but I forgot. But yeah, I mean, art style's good, music's good, very well directed, very well animated. All the important technical aspects are there. I like all the characters. I can tell that some of them are a little flat in some departments. I think that's what AJ's trying to get there. But I enjoy them all. They're all pretty consistent.
Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's get into it. Well, let's start with our main fucking character. Let's start with Hibiki. And no, I'm not talking about the show that Toei fucked over. So, let's start with Hibiki. He's fine.
Yeah, I mean
He's fine. He's
decent.
He's a guy.
He's pretty much your standard amnesiac protagonist. There's really not that much.
If you've seen any
was
shonen
about
anime,
to say,
you'll
like-
see, he's like every other shonen
It
character.
works for this type of show,
Yeah.
where you really can't cram too much into it, or else you're just going to end up with a mess.
No, absolutely. They make.
See that.
Yep.
Oh, I was gonna say. See, that's the thing with him though, because like. What's I wouldn't say he's a passive protagonist, because that isn't what he is. Because
No,
he does have a
definitely
goal
not.
and he does have something that he wants. But he's such he really is such a secondary feeling character to the entire show that it almost made me forget he was there at times. Like, honestly, to me, the character that I was way more invested in was Auntie. Like, honest to God, he was the only one in this show that I felt was having a character arc that I
He
didn't
actually
think
had
sucked.
character growth.
Well,
That's
when
why.
they actually had
He's
character
really
arcs.
the only one that had a character arc to begin with, more or less. So, not difficult.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and that's the thing. Like with Hibiki, again, he's fine, but
He doesn't grow. That's the thing.
You know what it is, and we mentioned this the last podcast when we talked about Blade. There's a certain way to do very heroic, goody two shoes characters.
Damn it. Sorry.
Kinzaki was how you did it. This is just bland. It really is. And again, maybe people like that. Maybe people like when they're just full-on white meat baby faces. And I'm fine with that. You can do that just fine. I mean, fuck, I love Gentaro from Forze. But I don't know, man. I wasn't feeling him. But I think that'll come down to what the fuck? Oh, but I think that'll come down to what I mentioned later on. But we'll get to that later on. But yeah, like I said, for me, I don't know. I liked Yuta just fine, but I feel like there could have been at least, I don't know, something to him, a little something. I don't know.
Well, I think the whole kind of flat personality there works mostly from one, the whole amnesia thing. I've talked about how I hate amnesia plots, but I think this is the few good ones, mostly because it doesn't actually, focus on the whole amnesia thing. So it's just kind of there in the background.
They don't even need the amnesia plot
And
to
also
begin
the
with.
fact that,
Yeah, it's pretty much.
when you get into the ending there, where he, kind of doesn't actually exist, sort of technically. Well, it makes sense there. It's a little weird. It's a little.
He got ultra'd.
It's a bit big brain.
It doesn't-
You need to think about it.
You need to have a pretty high IQ to understand Gridman.
Unironically, yes. I think this is a very big brain show. You kind of need. You need to be a little smarter than the average Rick and Morty fan in order to understand it.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that. I'm
I'm
sorry.
not. I'm fucking around, of course.
Because
Well, sort of.
I know. Well, besides Yuta, let's talk about the other characters because I'm gonna get to the characters I fucking hate anyways. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about one I hate right now. I fucking hated Rika. She fucking pissed me off. She pissed me the fuck off.
She's okay. She exists.
No, she pissed me the fuck off. She pissed me off because they went with the fucking most generic fucking thing for her. Oh, she's my friend. I can't.
If you've watched the
then she fucking ends up stabbing.
If you've
the
watched the
motherfucker.
anime, you'll
You wanna
know.
tell me she's still your friend, dumbass? Like, I hated that, and I get it in context. In the show, she's made to like Akane. I get that. I understand that, but that doesn't make me like the character anymore, or even sympathize with the character anymore. She still pissed me the fuck off. Like, honest to God, she pissed me off.
I'll say I wasn't a super big fan of her. She's kind of the least interesting of the main character crew, but I don't hate her as vitriolically as AJ does. It's fine. She's kind of bland, not particularly that interesting.
I just hate the fact
It exists there to be the girl and the dissenting opinion, more or less. For lack of a better explanation. But
basically love interest.
I get it.
But see, that's the thing. Like, I was gonna say that's the thing. Like, if she had stayed that way, I would have been fine with it. But no, they had to throw in that stupid fucking wrench of, oh, I can't kill my best friend. What best friend? You barely started talking to her like a day ago. You fucking idiot.
Well,
like I think one of the best fucking lines in this entire show was from Akane herself saying, "You probably should have fucking killed me because if you actually killed me, I wouldn't have stabbed the fucker." Like,
well, that's what happens when you fall in love with
you
yourself,
probably should have.
So. Oop, shit.
I feel like
Never mind.
Like I'm sure somebody out there is probably gonna try and explain it to me way more than I ever cared to understand it for. But I'm sorry, I just don't.
I feel like
and I just didn't like that whole twist. I'm like, okay, I get it. She was made to like her, but now she's trying to say that I wasn't made to. I just like you. That doesn't really forgive anything, man. Like, again, I just can't. I can't get with a character who is this much of just, oh well, I still forgive you. Like, you saw the dude, you saw her stab your friend in the stomach with a box cutter. Like, think about this for a second. And see, I think that's probably when I started started turning on the show. That was the last 4 episodes was that. Like, I don't know, man. I just couldn't get with that shit.
Well, agree to disagree with that.
I feel like they could have done.
From her, there's Utsumi, who does nothing. He exists. He's kind of the nerd character. They even make a point.
He likes mecha and
He's
kaiju.
the obligatory Ultraman nerd in this Ultraman show, which, wrap your head around that one, folks. No, but, I mean, the show even points out that he's kind of useless anyways, but it's fine. I like him. He doesn't really do a whole lot.
He's pudgy.
He's pudgy. He's nice. He's the nerd.
As they point out in the fucking episode where they go to the not the beach, when they go rafting. He's pudgy.
Trip episode. Yeah, he's fine. I mean, he's kind of a one-note character within. Oh, I'm a nerd, and that's it. That's kind of my thing. He's fine. He's not, offensive or just kind of like boring or anything. He just exists.
He's fine. Yeah, like you said, he's just there. He's there. Honestly, I didn't hate him. I was just like, okay, he's got his moments where he's funny, and that's pretty much it. He's alright. Yeah. Let's talk about the I just nicknamed him the Ultraman 4 or the Gridman 4. Well, we got Boar, we got Caliber. I called the other one Max.
The show.
I think that was his name,
refers
Max
to them, and
Vitter.
I quote, as the Neon Genesis High School student team, because we got to get our Ava jokes in somewhere, of course. Their names were.
Of course we do.
I forget their full names. There was Max, Boar,
Vor,
Vitor,
Vitor, and
Vitor, I
Caliber.
don't remember, and then Samurai Caliber, the best boy.
Wait, is it Vitor or
The
Vitor?
subs,
Vitter.
the subs spell it Vitor, Viter, but since he's supposed to be named after the jet from Cyber Squad, where it was like Vitor or Vitor, I think it's just a weird translation thing.
Is it actually named after fucking
they're all
Cyber
named
Squads?
after the character.
It's how they say it.
Well, yeah, they're all named after the support team from Cyber Squad. You know, Max was Tracto, Max, whatever the fuck.
We
Or
just
was the drill one.
we just don't have a dragon.
Samurai Caliber. Did you not pick up on this? We just fucking watched Cyber Squad, AJ. All right, seriously.
I didn't because I think Cyber Squad was the last thing on my fucking mind watching the show.
I think I broke his brain.
Oh, hello.
No, there was a dead silence
Nope, just
there.
his microphone.
Oh, okay. No, I was there. He's like,
No,
yeah,
I think again because like I think it's because Cyber Squad was like the last thing on my mind, so I was just kind of thinking to myself, I'm watching Gridman, not Cyber Squad, so I have to like
Well, where the fuck do you
alleviate my
think the
brain.
SSSS came from? God damn it.
Well, I knew that, like that I knew, but like everything else, I kind of like just threw it out my brain. Like, okay, I'm watching Gridman. That was probably like the only like thing they're gonna put in here for Cyber Squad, and apparently not, because I was just like, wait a minute, like really thinking back on it, I'm like, huh.
Well, there
Well
was
then.
supposed to be more, but there was legal reasons they couldn't get the full.
They
rights to
put
use
Malcolm
stuff.
Freak in it.
So why the heck couldn't we get the
I
damn
mean,
dragon?
Hell,
That
the
would've
Big
been
Bad
fucking
uses
great.
Kilo Khan's catchphrase a couple of times in the dub, apparently. But that's the dub. That doesn't
I would
count.
love fucking if the fucking main villain of this was actually just Malcolm Freak in a wig. I would fucking kill for that.
No. Yeah. But no,
Evil computer genius and cross-dresser Malcolm Freak.
well, hey, everybody knows that cross-dressing makes your coding better. No. The support team guys, they're fine. Really the only ones that actually do anything were Caliber and Max. The other two just kind of sit there and exist.
Because Caliber's freaking awesome.
Caliber is best boy. Caliber is the best character.
I told Phil, I thought, like, when I first saw Caliber, I was just like, is that just Malcolm Frank after he went on, like, a cocaine binge after Cyber Squad? Like, that's literally what I fucking saw. I was like, that's just Malcolm after he went on a huge-ass cocaine binge.
I love his intro where he's like, he tries to walk into the junk shop and his dumbass swords knock off the door and he just falls on the ground and knocks everything over.
You know
It
what?
was very charming.
That was one of those jokes where I was just like, oh, I hope they don't run that into the ground. But like after like the second time, they never do it again. I was like, I kind of miss it now.
They do it twice in the one scene and then they never do it again, which is a shame. But he's still just kind of like a weird, awkward dude. It's fun. They're all fine.
I
really
liked him. I liked Caliber a lot.
He's just that puppy trying to bring a big stick through a gate,
Pretty
and you
Pretty
just can't
much.
quite figure it out at first.
See, it's weird
He's
because
very lovable
because I was
for such a
expecting at
mono-dimensional
first.
character.
I was expecting at first. I wasn't thinking he was gonna I wasn't thinking any of the weapons were gonna have much of a personality or like much to do with the story. But it was surprising because of all people, it's the sword. I mean, I guess it would be kind of obvious the sword would be the most, I guess, fleshed out. I don't know, but I was pleasantly surprised that they gave him a lot more to do than just, oh hi, I'm a joke, I'm just a weirdo. I like that. I like that. I kind of wish they gave it a little more to the other ones, but that kind of comes in with the whole 12 episode thing, which I'll get into. I'll get into that, honestly.
Yeah, he's the most proactive of the four, and he really ends up contributing the most, both in terms of convincing Auntie to become good, and turning him against Akane and all the villains there, and more or less just helping out in general. And Max kind of takes a second role where he's mostly like a mentor, like a moral support kind of
Team dad.
He's the team dad, yeah, specifically for Yuta there. And then there's the other two who spend basically the entire show sitting on their asses doing nothing.
Well, you've got the loud one and the airhead for the last two, which
you've got the
makes sense.
Yeah, you've got the literal airhead.
Drills ain't
and
quiet
you've
and-
got Aoi Yuki,
Head in the clouds.
I'm still mad we didn't.
Dude, Boar's a fucking, like, she's a lawsuit waiting to fucking happen with how much she kicks people.
He
is
Boar's a
lawsuit
he?
waiting to happen. Yes.
That's a dude.
Yes.
What?
Don't worry.
Bullshit! That is bullshit!
No,
That
not
is a man.
bullshit. That is 100% true.
Yeah, don't
That
worry.
is a
I was
dude.
a little confused too. Especially because it's Aoi Yuki.
What the fuck?
Don't worry, it's not that weird.
There is
yeah,
no dick between those legs, motherfucker. I demand a fucking DNA test.
They're robots. They don't have DNA.
God
Oh,
damn it.
spoilers. Well, not really. It figures out immediately. But yeah, it's...
They heard about spoilers in the intro.
That's true. I like to say it anyways, just in case somebody wants to be stupid, alright?
Just in case they skip the first 10 seconds and they end up hearing Sora dies in the first 5. I mean, come on, that's happened before. Then again, that was by my own volition.
Well, yeah. No, but they're fine. They all have their own unique personalities there. Like I mentioned, Vitter and Boar don't do anything really, so they kind of end up being one note mostly, but overall they're all fun. They all have their little quirks, and they all contribute enough. And it's fine. I like them all. They're the best part of the show.
I just wish we got that dragon.
Yeah, they don't ever show. They do Xenon, but they don't ever do. The fuck was the dragon? I think it was just called Drago in Gridman. I don't remember. They don't ever do the dragon one. They do Xenon though, which is weird.
Of course, we have to talk about Best Girl, Rika's mom, who I swear to God, if it isn't the voice of a Haruko from Fooly Cooly, I swear to God, it sounds way too similar. Because I'm pretty sure that it is.
It's time to check the internet.
I am 100. At least in the Japanese version, that is 100% Haruko's fucking voice actress. Because you can't fucking hide that weird inflection she has. She has a very specific inflection.
Yeah.
But now we wait for the results.
Well, let's see. Fuck off, MAL. I just want to see the lists. No, okay, enough. Fucking load. Let's see. Yep, that's her.
Yeah, I fucking knew it. You can't hide that voice from me. That
Well, I mean,
voice
hey,
is
it's,
very
you know, it's
particular.
Trigger. Makes sense.
Um,
Makes sense.
But yeah, she's the only female protagonist apparently that I actually like, because apparently Boar has a fucking dick. I didn't fucking know that until just a couple minutes
Wait,
ago.
how does Boar have a dick?
Again, they're
It's
a
a
robot.
dude.
It doesn't matter.
Oh my God, they're robots!
Me.
Well, no shit. What are you? Did you not pay attention?
I
They're
did!
fucking robots.
I did watch.
Computer
think they were?
programs,
I just thought they
you
were-
morons.
What did you think they
I
were?
just thought they were people who could just go into the computer.
Were
No?
you not? Did you not pay
They're
attention at
robots.
all to the ending there?
I
They're
did
not
watch the
real.
ending.
The thing is, I don't
Fucking
even think you need to watch
Christ.
the ending. I don't even think you need to watch the ending to know that there were robots. I think it was kind of
This is-
self-explanatory.
Computer programs, not robots, but the same thing. You get the point. Fucking Christ. Was nobody paying attention?
I was under the assumption that that was pretty obvious that they weren't humans. I mean, they turned into the actual things. They weren't piloting them. Like, if they were piloting them, then I would hand it to you. Okay, maybe they're not, but like, no, they turned into those fucking things. I was like, okay, yeah, they are those things. So like, that was kind of self-explanatory. But yeah, Rika's mom was like the only female character I actually liked towards the end there,
didn't
because
even
she was
do
just
anything
cool.
either, yeah.
She was
To be
awesome.
fair, she was pretty fantastic.
She was fun.
And really, just that line where right near the end, where she's just like, "No, you go on ahead. Don't mind me."
Yeah, she sees them all about to
That
She's
just
so
sold it for me.
chill
She's
with the
just like-
fact, like, she's so chill with everything, and I love her for it. She's like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Like, they start jigging around with junk there, and she's just like, "Hey, you gotta pay for that, right? That's still."
And then they
merchandise."
pay for it, and then they just take it on the damn train.
I like the fact that they made her buy it back too. It's like, okay. we can't have this anywhere else. But here you go. I'll just buy it back from you.
We
fuckers, I
can't. We
guess.
can't just put it in.
We need a secret base.
To be fair, I 100% owe the fact that I like her so much only because of the voice actress. Because that voice actress, she puts in a fucking job every time she does anything, and I love her for it. She's great. I don't know what else she's been in, but whenever I actually hear her voice, I'm like really excited because I'm like, okay, now I'm in for either really hammy fucking bullshit or a really good performance, and either one I'm happy about it. She's like Sylvester Stallone. It's in a weird way.
I don't see
I
it.
don't know.
One way or another, you're going to enjoy yourself. Fair enough.
Oh my. Let's see. Who else do we? I guess we still got Auntie and. Let's talk about Auntie because I like Auntie. I actually want to be happy when I'm talking about something.
Auntie's
right
interesting.
I like Auntie.
Yeah,
I like him a lot because he actually had a character arc, and not only that, but I felt fucking bad for this kid the entire show.
Why?
Don't feel bad for him. He's a filthy kaiju.
But god damn it, kaiju lives matter. Oh, I got it.
Man, hear you say that.
Oh god.
He's honestly one of the better characters of the show. It helps that he's really the only one with any kind of actual arc to speak of. He kind of starts off a little generic as like I want to kill a Gridman because I was made to do it, and blah 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 blah.
Feed
As
me.
he keeps getting his ass kicked. He kind of grows from there and learns that maybe
if I like Gridman, I won't get my ass kicked.
maybe I shouldn't keep trying to just get myself killed instead of actually.
Oh my god.
Oh, fucking AJ.
AJ, god damn it.
Yeah. Damn it, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, he's fun. And like I said, he has an arc there where he starts off, I only exist to kill Gridman, and then as he, starts to hang out with the Gridman crew kind of accidentally, he starts growing, and he's like, maybe I shouldn't kill him. Maybe I should be a good guy. I don't know. It's a little rushed, and that's probably just mostly the episode count there. But it's not like bad with how it's rushed. It's just rushed.
Yeah, see, the thing about Auntie, and again, like I said, he was really the only character I, honest to God, felt real sympathy for, because, like he said himself, I was literally built to just kill Gridman, and I have literally nothing else to live for. Though there was one thing that really caught me off guard, and I don't know if this was a continuity error, a sub error, or something they just dropped entirely, because there was a conversation that he had with Akane. That he said, I have to kill Gridman so I can finally be a kaiju of my own will. But then, like 3 episodes later, Caliber asks Auntie, if you kill Gridman, what are you going to do then? He doesn't answer. He gets stuck. And I'm like, you mentioned this already. You want to be a kaiju of your own will. What happened to that?
I took that as more of, he says that and that's what he wants, but he doesn't really exactly understand what he wants or understand what that means. I took that more as a, the hypothetical thing of villains saying they want to do a thing, and then the hero asks why or and then what, and they're like, I don't know.
But see that's the thing. Like he already said the then what. He would become his own like a kaiju of his own will, and I took that as now I won't have to kill anybody else. I can be my own man. And I'm like, I get that, but then why did he never mention that afterwards? Like that's a complete again, I don't know if that's a sub thing or a thing that they just full on dropped. But
considering
it
this is
really
Crunchyroll
stuck in my
subs,
mind.
I'm going to assume it's just a.
I think
mispronunciation.
neither.
But it might be neither. It could.
I
be
think that was the first time he was actually forced to actually think about what that meant.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going with there, where he's like, that's what he's saying, but he never actually really thought about it. He never really put thought.
Like he never really thought about what it meant to be a kaiju of his own will. I don't know. Something about it just didn't click for me on that level. I mean, everything else with that's like one kink in like everything else. Like everything else with Auntie, I liked. I liked his slow burn. I liked I liked how they made us feel bad for him because like he tried his fucking best to protect Akane, and Akane was just a fucking whore. She just, I mean, nothing made you for some reason nothing makes you feel worse than seeing somebody get a phone thrown in their face constantly. Like it made me feel bad for the kid.
Or garbage or
Yeah.
She really treated him like a dog.
Not even a dog,
Not
dude.
even.
I treat like you treat
Dogs
dogs
deserve
better with
better.
that.
I'm not saying that the good. No. I'm trying to say that she treats him.
You mean like just garbage? Basically.
She treats him badly. That's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
she treats him like he's. She treats him as though he's her pet, but badly.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like I don't know. I think the whole thing was just. I just liked the fact that, again, I really sympathize with this poor guy because, really, when you really get down to it, he didn't do anything wrong. He never did a thing wrong. He was doing what he was made to do and what he only knew how to do. And when he was
it's not a life that he asked for. It
Yeah.
was a life that he was born into.
and when he finally had to like come face to face with asking why he has to do it, it really made him like change himself. And I'm like, okay, I like that. I like that idea. And it's too bad it was at the service of fucking Akane. Let's talk about that fucking bitch for a second. Okay, I hate this fucking whore, and I wish she dies in a fucking fire.
I thought she was an alright villain. She's
No, she was
definitely
awful.
A bit of a step
Well, no,
down.
as a villain. See, that's the fucking key. That's the fucking key with that, Jay. Here's the thing: as a villain, she works because I hated her. And that's a good villain. You have to, you know, it's a good thing to not like your villain. And I hated this bitch. What she got at the ending is another different fucking question. Her entire thing of basically being given. You know what? This is fucking blasphemy to anybody who likes the show, but I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. You know what she is? She reminded me. She had such shades of fucking Michi that I couldn't get over it.
Oh boy.
I couldn't. No, you want to know why? She's a villain who does awful things, psychotic things you should never forgive anybody for, and then she gets a happy ending. That's what happened. You can't tell me she didn't get a happy ending. She got a happy ending in the end. Yeah, sure, people hated her.
Well,
oh no, she's so lonely. She didn't fucking get any comeuppance. Oh, she got turned into a fucking kaiju. Whoop-de-damn doo-doo. Dude, honest to God, if I was any of these people, I would have stabbed this fucking bitch from the get-go. Because she basically fucking says, oh, I'm going to kill you all. Because I hate you all. Like, is that not reason enough to fucking kick this bitch in the fucking coochie? Like, I don't know about you, but I'm fucking like, as soon as someone does that and goes through with it because, oh, they stepped on my fucking hot dog. Yeah, that's enough of a fucking reason to kill this
That's
bitch.
petty.
Well, that's the idea, is that she's supposed to be fucking crazy and that she's insane.
She's a sociopath.
Well, yeah, I understand that she's supposed to be crazy. I'm not questioning what her motive is. What I'm questioning is, why the fuck did she get off so easy? Because you can't tell me she didn't. She got off fucking scot-free, basically.
Well, I guess because mostly that none of it was fucking real and it was all fictional in a virtual world there. But also, I get what you're saying, but it's, I don't know, I think I'm having trouble remembering exactly what I'm trying to say, but I think you're going a little too hardcore here.
I think I can help clarify this a little bit. Her punishment was she had to deal with life again. That simulation was her escape from reality. That was her world. That was her way of dealing with the real world.
Like, I understood
Okay, well,
I understood all of that. The thing is, I'm sorry, but that's too fucking storybook of an ending. I'm sorry, but that's, as a villain, even me taking away all the fucking hyperbolic like statements I'm saying right now, as just her herself, I'm sorry, but she got off way too easy. She got off way too easy.
No.
No, she did.
No.
She got off way too easy. I'm not.
No,
I'm not.
no, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
Not-
Yes, she
No,
did.
she didn't.
Okay.
You can not back off as much as you like.
No, I'm sorry, but
Anyway,
she did.
to
No,
continue
no, no,
with
no, no,
what
no,
I
no,
was
no, 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 no.
saying,
She got off way too fucking. No, I'm not backing off on this. She got
Okay,
off.
AJ,
She got
she's
off
not,
too easy.
Okay.
It wasn't fucking real. Nobody was real.
I don't care if it wasn't fucking real. As a villain, she got off too scot-free.
I think
I'm
she
sorry,
got a
but
good.
you
Got a
You can
comeuppance.
go. You can say everything you want that she wasn't real. It wasn't real. This isn't real. That's not real. I don't care. It's not a fucking good ending for a villain. She got off scot-free. Oh, she has to deal with life again. Good fucking luck. I don't give
Dude,
a shit.
Michi didn't even get
As
a
a
good
fuck-
ending either.
As a fucking ending to her, I'm sorry, but it's too happy. It's too happy for her. It's too happy, and I don't like that. I didn't like that. It ruined a lot for it. So I'm just like, okay, I get it. It's supposed to still try and like emulate the feelings you would get through a fucking like like a toku show, a really kid toku show. You know, everything gets wrapped up in the end. I understand that, but I'm sorry, it doesn't work. It didn't. It just didn't work for me. And I get it. I understand it's a virtual thing. It's a simulation, but it still didn't fucking work.
So anyways,
fucking dumb.
We don't.
Well-
we haven't really talked about the other villain of the show. What the fuck was his name? Alexis or whatever. Inferno.
Alexis Carib.
Inferno Cop 3. I don't know, because he's just another version of Inferno Cop. Because this is Trigger.
Was he
and
voiced
we-
by He wasn't voiced by what's his name?
It-
Sugata? No, he wasn't voiced by him, was he?
It was Tetsuya Inaba. He wasn't. Yeah, it was Tetsuya Inaba, not Sugita. They kind of sound the same right now.
They sounded similar, yeah.
He exists. He doesn't really. I mean, he's kind of similar in that way to both Khans from the original shows, in that he doesn't really have a motive or an understandable plan or a reason. He's just, I'm gonna help you make the monsters because that's, evil, I guess, and that's about it.
Just a
But again, he's
force of chaos.
yeah. Again, it's similar to the originals, well, more or less the original Gridman there, where he's, I'm here to help some weird fucking psychopath make monsters because reasons. It's gonna make things bad. It's evil. I don't really know. The best I could figure is that his whole overall scheme was, I'm going to help her make the monsters to lure out Gridman and hopefully kill him, so I can get out of this fucking place and go continue my evil reign of whatever the hell. I feel like there was a bit of a leaked script of what Gridman, what the show was originally going to be, and he was kind of like some like demon general thing or whatever. Never really got fleshed out, and I feel like a lot of the pre-production changes kind of left him on the wayside in terms of like a motivation or a plan. But it's fine. He doesn't really need one.
That could be something to do with just the fact that it's 12 episodes.
Well, there's that. Yeah, there's that too. Like I said, he doesn't really need one.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff left on the cutting room floor because of those 12 episodes. Because like I was gonna mention earlier with Akane, I think I would have been happier with her ending more if it wasn't 12 episodes. I feel like they tried to squeeze too much in just such little time.
I'll agree
I
with you there.
I don't think that 12 episodes is inherently a bad thing for any anime. I don't think it is if your show allows it. But I don't know. I feel like for the stories that they were trying to tell, especially with something like Akane, where they were actually trying to make it seem like, oh, she's actually getting it worse. If it was longer, maybe I would have understood it. If it was a little longer, I wouldn't say 50 episodes or anything like that. Maybe 26. 26 should be fine. Because if it was shorter, you would get fucked. If it was shorter, you get fucked.
If they had a little bit more time to kind of flesh out the arcs and kind of flesh out the whole backstories, especially with Akane's motivations and all that and stuff like that, and her ultimate, not necessarily redemption, but kind of end result there with the ending.
Or just with Auntie also, because I feel like you said, like it feels a little rushed. Honestly, if they gave me a little bit more with Auntie, because that's the thing, like I feel like there was wasted motions. There were wasted motions with certain episodes, and by that I mean like certain episodes just feel like you could have used this time better.
Like the whole episode where it's just the characters kind of dicking around, and Yuta's getting info dumped, but everybody else is just kind of dicking around, and there's no fights or anything. Which they at least they kind of poke fun at, because Akane is there like flipping through a magazine with Utsumi, and she's like, "Man, it's such bullshit that they make episodes of toku shows where there's no monsters in them. What the fuck is up
I
with
saw that.
Right?
I kind of got that too.
That's
but like I said,
little
like
bit.
I
I
think
enjoyed that little nod.
I think to me, like, if they had given this show, again, if you don't want 26, let's say 20. Let's say just 24 episodes. I think a lot of problems I have with this show would have been alleviated, because, and again, I understand that there's probably there's a lot of things I don't understand because I didn't watch Gridman. They were the first one. I understand that, and I went in knowing that, and I was fine with that. I was fine not understanding certain things, and that's, like I said, I was fine with that. But I think a lot of things in this show, a lot of problems and a lot of nitpicks I have with the show. Again, Auntie feeling rushed, Akane, Rika herself, I think she would have been way better if we had gone a little bit more with her. Because I think her whole thing of, like, I don't want to hurt Akane because she's my friend. I think it would have been better if we had fleshed out that they actually had a friendship. Like what I thought they were going for originally was, you know how when they're at the bus stop and they say, "It's been a while since we've spoken." I thought, okay, maybe they'll do a thing where it's like Rika and Akane were friends, but they just kind of drifted apart naturally. And, like, now that they're reconnecting, she doesn't want to hurt her, like, now of all times. I think I would have been happier with that. I don't know. I feel the length really hurt this show. And I think if it was any longer, I think I would have liked the show a lot more than I did.
I'll at least agree with you there that I think there's a lot of stuff that kind of feels rushed and kind of ends up being left by the wayside. There's like for example, Auntie's whole face turn there at the end where he becomes Grid Knight. That ends up being wasted because he turns into it at the end of the episode, and then there's like 2 episodes left, and he doesn't really get to do anything. So it's just ultimately like a waste of time.
Right?
And it's fine. I like that. I like that they ended up doing that. It's a nice little nod to the, stuff that was going to happen with the original, behind-the-scenes stuff, blah, blah, blah. But then it just kind of ultimately feels like a wasted token of gratitude because they don't do enough with it.
Like I was saying, like, well, actually, I was going to mention, like, I feel like a lot of, like, winks and nods, I don't know, like that especially, I think that was probably taking it too far. Because I think if you had Auntie, I don't know, and again, it's hard to say do it earlier or do it later with this show because you have such small time window. You got nothing to really squeeze in or expand because it's so confining. Like, this isn't 6 episodes or anything like some are, but, like, again, I just think the length hurt this thing way too much. It really did. I don't know, maybe again, maybe if it was longer, I would be a lot easier on it than I am right now. Because, excuse me.
Well, so I was going to say something, but I forgot. But yeah, the pacing there is a little rough with the episode count, so that's one of the big detriments to the show there. There's a lot of stuff that kind of doesn't really get explained because of it, and that's mostly just because, well, half of that's because of the episode, and half of that's because, we want to keep they're pulling the, we don't want to answer everything to keep you guessing kind of route, which is fine. It works.
See, I thought a lot of that was mostly because I didn't watch the original Gridman.
Well,
like, I thought a lot of stuff that they didn't answer, I thought a lot of stuff they didn't answer was more, okay, I don't get this because it was probably in the original and they explained it there. Like, that's it. Like, that's why I don't get this.
Some of it's that, and some of it's genuinely, we just didn't.
They just didn't explain it.
We want to just leave you hanging on that. I mean, because fuck you, we're Trigger. We're gonna do that.
I guess, yeah.
But there's definitely a lot of stuff where if you didn't watch the original Gridman, you're gonna miss some stuff.
Yeah, and I was fully prepared for that. Like I said, I went into this knowing full well that a lot of stuff in this show was not going to make too much sense. Honestly, I say that, but a lot of it really did make sense in the sense that, like, I don't. You can watch this without watching Gridman. I can say that. You'll miss out on some winks and nods.
Oh, no, yeah.
You'll miss out on certain things, but overall, you get the general idea. And I don't think you need to watch Gridman to understand the arc that they're telling with the main villain. Like
No,
you don't need to watch it. And like you said, like Alexis isn't even really. Well, again, I don't know. I assume he's not really related to any of the original villains from Gridman.
Not that they ever reveal. Trigger kind of semi-jokingly maybe put out a tweet where it's like, "Oh, Alexis was actually this one character from Luluco who turned evil, and that's why he's here." But I'm not entirely sure if they were just fucking around or not. Granted, it's a character who looks exactly like Alexis and
because it's Trigger.
Is voiced by Tetsu Inada, and yes, it's Trigger because they love having their own little self-referential jerk-offs in their shows. But I'm not entirely sure if it's a joke or not, so I'm not.
It's hard to tell when Trigger's
it.
fucking with you.
Yeah. But
remember Inferno Cop 2? I do.
I remember too.
Fucking Trigger, man. But yeah, like I said, I think, again, I know people are gonna say that I'm like way too harsh on this, but I don't. I have to like reiterate this. I didn't go into the show hating it. I really did not want to like dislike anything in the show because everyone keeps saying it's this, it's great, and fuck, it won a fucking award just like what this week.
Yeah, it won the Seiyun, I think that's how it's pronounced, award for its writing, which is
it's one of like the higher like.
It's one of the more prestigious like sci-fi awards, if I remember correctly. Like you got stuff like
and see, and that's the thing. Like you show me that, and like I think, what's not clicking with me? Because again, it's one of those things where I didn't want to hate this show. I didn't. I never go into a show wanting to hate it. I should say that now. I really don't. And I watch it and I think, why is this not clicking with me? Because a lot of it did. Like Utsumi, I liked Utsumi. Yuta, for as bland as he was, I liked him. I still liked him. I thought, okay, he's still a character that I want to see succeed. Rika, for the most part, she was fine. I liked Auntie's story. I liked again the Neon Genesis Quad Squad. I'll call them that. Neon Genesis Quad Squad. There you go. I liked them, and I liked how sociopathic they made Akane. I did like that. Like they made you feel like, yeah, this bitch is fucking crazy. But I don't know, just the way that they got to the end point just didn't click for me. And I don't know if it's just something to me, maybe it's something because of the way they executed it, or maybe it's just again the fucking pacing and the length. But something about it just it's one of those you like it or you don't things, I guess. And I guess I didn't care. Again, I liked a lot more than I hated. I'll say that. I think the only real blight on this show was really the fucking last half. I say last half. The last 4 episodes, I guess. Like, that's really where I started not liking it as much. Everything else was fine, to me at least.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked the ending, the whole final fight there where Gridman turned...
Oh, the fucking... If you want to talk about the final fight, then that's a whole different fucking story, Jay. That's fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That fucking fight was great.
Where
it was a damn thing of beauty.
It was... I would dare say the entire show is worth watching just for that final fight, where Gridman turns into his old 90s design... And you got the fucking theme song playing in the background, and he fucking...
I don't know how anybody can hate that song. Like,
it's so fucking
if you get to that song in this show and you hate the song, I'm sorry, but give your eardrums back, because that's fucking amazing.
The entire time from when they announced the show and that it was running, I was like, they better fucking play the original theme in the show at one fucking point. That's all I'm asking for. Even if it's a shitty cover, I'll take it. And then they did it.
That's a sucky thing, though, because I'm not gonna lie, it kind of scared me at first because they did release a shitty cover, and watching the show, I thought, oh fuck, they're gonna use the shitty cover?
Oh my
and
god,
then,
I thought that too.
I hear the
second they
fucking
released
original, right? Like as soon as the original starts playing, I just like fucking flipped. I was like, yeah, this is great. This entire sequence in a bubble is like the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen. Like it's animated amazingly. It's got the great fucking music. It's great. And then they had to ruin it with the fucking opening because fuck you.
Yeah, Gridman beating Alexis with the fixer beam is kind of an ass pull. Not necessarily the ability because he does it all the time in the original. More in the fact that he never ever used that to defeat a kaiju, and there is no reason to assume he could. But otherwise the whole fight's pretty awesome, and it really.
I was gonna say, could that just be a thing of like, could that just be a thing of like, if you watch Gridman, this doesn't seem as much of an. I mean, then again, you're saying it's kind of an ass pull, so to you it might still seem like it.
Him using the attack is not an ass pull because it's a thing that he had. I mean, he, obviously they used it a bunch in Cyber Squad too, so it's. But it's more that
they called it something else, didn't they?
I don't think they ever even referred to it by name. Then again, they never referred to it by name in the original. Then again, Fixer Beam managed to heal some crippled kids' legs, so I don't fucking know what it can and can't do. You think I'm joking? I'm not.
I just like the idea of just Gridman being like, "Oh, small child, what is your ailment? I can't fucking walk."
You're not even exaggerating. That's basically how it was. Oh, that episode sucked.
That's beautiful.
No,
that's beautiful.
No, him using it to defeat Alexis there is a bit of an ass pull because there is no reason to assume that's something that it could do, especially because he never bothered to try it in the original, so it's a little weird there. But it's not like, oh, okay, this is stupid. I hate this ending now. Kind of bad.
See, the thing is, I didn't like that entire thing. Wasn't even bad. Like the whole fight with Gridman going back into his '90s form and everything, and beating Alexis Keeb and all that. Like the whole fixture beam, I didn't even mind that. I legit didn't mind any of that. It's just when we got to the human characters, that's when I started minding the ending. Again, if somebody can help me see what I'm not seeing, go for it. Like, just sincerely go for it. But I don't know. Something just, again, it didn't click. It didn't click the way that baby fucking Don did, because that shit was fucking great. That shit was just amazing, no matter who you fucking are. Like, Toku fan or not, you can't tell me that giant fucking robot and fighting a fucking alien monster with that song going on. With that type of animation, you can't tell me that shit's not fucking badass.
No, yeah, absolutely.
You're a liar if you're saying that's fucking that. If anyone says that scene was bad, you're a fucking liar.
No, absolutely.
Or blind.
Or a contrarian who's just being.
Or hate life.
Yeah.
Hate life and fun.
But yeah, I think that's all to be said about the show overall. There, I mean, I liked the ending, but we've already gone over that. We've had that debate there. I feel like there's a little bit of things that kind of are a little confusing because of the ending there. What with the whole Akane's the only real one and nobody else was real and it was all fictional there, and it's a little complicated. I think that's them not really explaining any of it in too great detail ends up having it be a little confusing. But
what I want to ask was that by design or was that legitimately they just didn't have time to do it? Because like you said, like they like doing the thing where because like you said, they like doing that whole let's leave them guessing, and if that was their idea of let's leave them guessing what actually happened, that's fine. Because I understood perfectly fine. Like if you pay attention and if you're watching subs, you pretty much fucking have to. If you pay attention, you know what they mean by everything they say. But even then, it still doesn't. It can still be very confusing because you're sitting there thinking, well, what about this technically? You know what I mean?
It's definitely intentional. They definitely intended it for it to be not exactly
vague as fuck,
super clear and vague as fuck. Yeah. again, a little bit of it makes more sense if you've seen the original show, where the idea of there being like human people and like cities and stuff within like the virtual world makes sense. But otherwise, it's still a little left ambiguous there. What exactly everybody's role and who exactly was going on and what his real motives were and blah 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 blah. But it's not.
See, I just assumed Keeb was just like. See, like with Keeb's motives, I was always just assuming he just wants to destroy this fucking place.
Yeah, I mean that's.
What was I? Have I been calling him Keeb this whole fucking time?
You've been calling him a chicken dish this whole time.
Oh my god!
That's why I stuck with Alexis, because that's easier to say.
See, this is why I didn't like Poo Poo Platter as a villain.
Oh.
But yeah,
no. Yeah,
but, I mean,
I don't think his plan was really. Sorry, we're talking over each other. I don't think his plan was necessarily just to destroy everything. I think his plan was more like fuck with her until she goes crazy, and then kill Gridman because evil. I guess it's very much a.
I just like that idea.
It's very much a step 3 profit kind of plan, where it's like step 1, help this girl create kaiju in virtual world. Step 2. Step 3, world domination or whatever. I don't know.
That's kind of it, because like, and see, the thing is about Alexis over there, I kind of liked his personality, where he's kind of just really laid back and all that. And from what you've told me of the original Gridman, the original Khan was actually like that as well. Like, he wasn't super. He was more like, all right, I'll fucking help you.
He wasn't. It's where Khan was more of like a directly negative force who was like trying to make him like he was. I'm going all over the place. Where, you know, in both shows, Khan was like a direct negative force who was like actively trying to encourage him to make the monsters and stuff. And you know, he's this kind of like awful like douche person, where Alexis is just kind of like, hey, what's up? You know, you going good? You have a good day? You want to go? Hey, let's make some monsters. How about that? You know, let's just.
Oh, you're having a
cause some
shitty day?
destruction.
Just make some fucking monsters. You know. It's like,
Yeah,
Alexis, it's awful. What happened, young Akane? They stepped on my hot dog. Oh, just fucking murder them. It'll be great.
Just murder. Yeah, you know what? Just murder them. You know, this is your perfect world. Your god. You kill them all, and I'll just help you there.
Yeah, look, I'm
They're
your
your
friend.
creations, just
I
do
am
what
your
you like.
best friend, and I will help you murder everyone you want. This seems really weird. Don't worry about it. I'll kill him.
It's
Don't
Japan.
worry about it. I'm very trustworthy. Do you not see the flames coming out of my head?
Do you not see this very obvious devil horns I have? This is just a halo.
Yeah.
Also, Phil, what do you
right?
mean it's Japan? Does every Japanese person just have Kilocon on their fucking computer making kaiju? Is that how it works?
Maybe. I don't know.
Damn, that's weird.
Yeah. But,
Wait, well, I'll just call up Chad. We'll see. He's in Japan right now.
Well, he is.
Hey Chad, does the fucking laptop in your hotel have Kilocon making fucking kaiju? That'd be great. I want to see that happen. But like, I guess we're pretty much at the end here. I mean, overall, again, I liked a lot. I'm not gonna say I didn't, because if I say I didn't like anything, that would just be stupid. I liked a lot of it. I liked the music. I liked the animation. I liked most of the characters. Again, 2 out of what? How many fucking characters were in there in total? Like,
There's like 7 or 8, I guess, counting all.
Yeah,
the villains.
2 out of 8.
Lots.
2 out of 8's not bad. Two out of 8 characters, and even then, like, if I really try and like think about, I guess, quote unquote think about it, I wouldn't be too harsh on Rika, because like for the most part she was fine. For the most part she was an okay character.
She's
it was really
she's
only
all right. I think we've gone over this.
It was really towards the end. It was really only towards the end I didn't like her. But like 1 out of 8 characters is not a bad fucking ratio for any show. It's just, I think it's something personally for me didn't click. I think it really just did. Again, I guess it's also a thing of just, I'm not a fan of shows or any type of fiction that like basically kind of feel like they're just giving the villain a pass. Like, oh, it's worse than that. Like, maybe if it was like fucking part 5 where like Diavolo just keeps fucking dying infinitely for eternity, maybe I'll put it fucking off on that. That'd be fucking weird though. Fucking GER just comes in and punches Akane into a fucking truck for eternity. That'd be my fucking ending. But I don't know. Again, maybe it was just me. Because, like I said, you guys obviously liked it a fuck ton more than I did. And that's not saying that, again, that's not saying I didn't like it. It's just something didn't click personally.
Alright, well, you're free to have that opinion, obviously. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, the rest of the show is pretty unambiguously, likable, so it's definitely worth a watch.
Oh, it is.
I would personally recommend you watch the original first. As I've kind of mentioned here and there, it's got some pretty shitty subs, so you might not have the best time watching it, but it's definitely worth a watch if you are interested in the show and you haven't seen it yet, or you've already seen it and you enjoyed it.
Jay, how dare you tell me to go watch an
least,
old show that I only want to watch the new show for? How dare you?
At the very least, watch that first episode of it, and then watch the first episode of this, and you'll see a lot of the parallels pretty easily. It's a good low-commitment way to kind of get how much of a callback this is.
Well, I mean, from what I understand, like, the original show's 49 episodes. I mean, it's a pretty big fucking leap from 49 to 12. So
It's 39.
it's up to
you. It's
39.
Yeah, it's definitely a much longer series to watch, and the more strict Monster of the Week format, you might not enjoy too much if you're more of a fan of this kind of type of show, but it's definitely worth giving it a glance or two if you have seen the original, or if you liked this.
Or just say fucking watch Superhero Samurai Cyber Squad and then watch this one, and tell me how that goes. That would be interesting. Just replace all the characters in your mind with the characters from Samurai Cyber Squad.
Ugh.
Have Yuta and Subs just say, "Let's samurai, guys."
3 for $1.
Oh fuck.
Oh no.
Then no, the first fucking episode just have like Akane like try and take away the world's fucking food supply. Oh, that'd be amazing. Oh,
yeah,
that'd be so good.
If Akane's plans were more, I just want this
Malcolm
specific
Freak.
person dead, and more like, I just want to fuck with this thing specifically, I think it would have been a much more different show, and I don't think it would have really fit what they were going for, but I think it would have been a little bit more, I think it would have been at least a little bit more entertaining on an episode to episode basis.
I think so. I don't know, but like, I think if we had more Malcolm Frank, I think this show would have been a 10 out of 10 automatically. Automatic 10 out of Frank.
The original Gridman's still there, and he's Takeshi is definitely more of a Malcolm than Akane is. So
look, can we just get Malcolm Frank back? I really want to see that guy play Malcolm Frank again. He's like 50 now, but like you can just have him be like, I never got over what Max did to me. He's still in his room.
He's still a shitty NEET who's making monsters. And
Who
really,
apparently lives by himself in a giant ass house.
I guess so.
Because that's how American Toku works. I don't know.
I guess so.
I guess overall, I mean, I've already said my final piece. I guess Jay is too. I mean, what about you, Phil? What's your final piece on this whole thing?
I liked it. I mean, they had its problems. I enjoyed it, though.
Well, there you go. So, Nemeth, what's your final piece?
I really enjoyed this show. I found myself wanting more at just about the end of every episode. And it's definitely worth the dive, as far as I'm concerned. I do have some other thoughts on it, but those are more hypothetical and maybe a bit out there.
I guess, like I said, for anybody going into this, I would say go more in with the mindset that Jay and Nemeth have, because I think really it was just a personal thing with me that I didn't like it. So go more with their mindset instead of mine. Go in wanting to love it, because if it won a fucking award, I mean, I don't know. If it won a fucking award like that, obviously I'm missing something here. So
I mean,
this thing's sharing that same honor with like
Cowboy Bebop, if I
Shin
remember.
Godzilla and let's see, Kuga.
Kuga.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Tiga,
saying.
Deca Ranger,
Tiga.
fucking
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist, Dirty Pair, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, Parasite, a bunch of other shit that I don't remember off the top of my head.
Parasite
Terminator
won
2,
that?
Star Wars,
Fucking yeah, Terminator 2.
Alien. Mm-hmm.
I mean, this
Of all
is a
things,
very,
Parasite's the one that
different
won
round.
that? What the hell?
Yeah, I mean.
Or are you talking
it
just
has
the
Western
manga,
ones,
though?
too. No, the original book, I believe. The Ring, I think, won it too. I don't remember. It's been a while since I checked the list. But there's a lot
Really?
of
The
very
Ring?
prestigious like sci-fi and horror stuff that's won the award. So it definitely deserves its place among them, I would say personally. So it's definitely something where you should give it a look just to see, where the hype is coming from. You might want to put your hype at the door a little bit, because I think going in and knowing all the hype about it, you might ruin your feelings on it there. But well, that happens with everything.
You know what? Maybe it was maybe it was also the hype that got to me too. Maybe because everybody
true.
and their mother was telling me like this is basically the second coming of Christ. So I was like, okay, maybe it's really great. Like maybe it's like just that damn good. So maybe the hype kind of hit me a bit. I don't know. Again, like I said, go in with Jay and Nemit's mindset. Don't go in with mine, because obviously there's got to be something I'm missing.
I went in with no expectations because I had no idea what I was getting into. I'd never heard of Trigger before this.
Really?
I'd heard of Gridman. I knew a little bit about Gridman, but only a little bit. It was only after that I actually took a poke at a few episodes and saw, oh, that's so neat.
That's kind of surprising you
Did
never heard
all
of
the
Trigger
little
before this
things.
Yeah.
Well, I don't pay much attention.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I mean, to be fair,
one. I mean,
prior to
they
this,
do
like, most
so
of their
many
shows
little
are
little
very-
things.
Yeah, most of their shows are very divisive, other than like Little Witch Academia and Kill la Kill is divisive as fuck. But,
Look,
Yeah.
Inferno Cop is the fucking Citizen Kane of our fucking generation, and I will fight anyone who
really-
says otherwise.
it really is.
All right, so I'm watching Inferno Cop next.
It has
Let's go.
such deep goddamn characters.
Inferno Cup has the deepest lore since Kimono Friends. Actually, wait, no, it came out before Kimono Friends, so it technically doesn't. But you get what I
Kimono
mean.
Friends ripped off Inferno Cop.
Time travel fuckery?
I'm pretty
Yes.
sure Inferno Cop was ripped off. Time traveling, like I'm pretty sure, like
You're not even
fucking-
joking. You're not even wrong about time travel. There's
Who the
time
fuck?
travel.
Who the fuck
in
is
fucking Inferno
What's the guy's
Cup.
name? What's the guy's name who wrote Evangelion? Ano?
Ano?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had a fucking time machine, went forward in time, and ripped off Inferno Cop to write Evangelion. He ripped off Inferno Cop. That's
Oh
how
my
much.
God.
That's how deep Inferno Cop has gotten. He ripped it
It
off.
really is.
Someone's gonna be hearing this and honest to God think that it's fucking that is like Inferno Cop is just that fucking deep. And I hope they do, and I hope they love it. If you watch Inferno Cop because of this episode, I hope you have so much fucking fun. All right, so fuck it. Let's hope the wheel gives us something that doesn't make us all want to like tear each other's throats. Let's see. Hold your breath, boys. And all right. Oh wow. Here's a fucking cursed one that we've tried 5 million fucking times and never actually been able to fucking work. Let's hope we get to do it this time.
Oh,
my
God.
goodness.
We're doing Kamen Rider Double.
Woo.
We've done O's, we've done Forza, now let's do a double. We've tried this 3 fucking times. We've tried this episode
Well-
3 times, mind you. Let's hope the 3rd time's the fucking charm. The 4th time's the fucking charm.
Let's hope, yeah.
First time the audio fucked up. 2nd time we couldn't hear. I think it was Rob. And 3rd time I don't even think we were able to fucking do it because I think somebody was fucking sick. So double WX. Okay, so
We're on to octuple now, I guess. That's the best joke I can come up with, and I'm sorry.
Octuple?
I've let myself
I
down.
didn't even understand what I think I missed something on that
It's
one.
the fourth time we're trying to record this, so
Isn't oct 8?
it's not just double. It's not a quad.
Oh.
It's not 6. It's octuple.
Oh.
Anyway.
Mathematician
I
jokes.
told you it was terrible, and I was ashamed.
Aren't we all? We all make jokes we don't like sometimes. I make white person puns every fucking day. Well, then again, I am white. Anyways, so with that being said, go watch
already
Gridman
did the
or don't,
things, so-
but go listen to Baby Don Don on a repeat for at least 48 hours. And if you don't do that, then you obviously just hate good music. So,
I mean, I'm gonna go
with that
listen to
being
it
said,
right now.
Yeah, on that much we can all agree.
that fucking opening, I don't care. Again, I don't care what anybody fucking says. Even if you've never watched Gridman, that opening is fucking hype. But yeah, that being said, I'm AJ. That's Phil.
Bye.
That's Jay.
Bye, everyone.
That's. Wait, I've told myself I wasn't going to do that again. That's Nemeth.
We'll see you next time, guys.
WX. Fuck it, I'm done. Bye.